Hi, it's Olivia, and I love defacing books. I love drawing on and on the inside of covers. It's just something I love doing, and a little while ago I did a video just like this where I showed some of the pens and stuff that I use, but since then I've done a lot more books, and I feel like I have a few some tips and advice for defacing books because I still get a lot of questions about it and of course like the stuff that I use, so let me just get started. I'm going to start out with just some advice in general if you feel like you want to start defacing books, because that is a question that I get a lot, is I want to start defacing books but I'm not sure how to go about it, or I'm nervous about it. I would recommend going to a used book sale or somewhere where you can get like a really cheap book that you don't mind, that you wouldn't feel bad about drawing on in case you mess up, because that's what the concern is, that you'll mess up, you know, like your precious book. Then start out with something that you do not find precious at all, and use that to start out with. Also, it sounds really cliche, but just do it, trust me, it's fun. Or even like before I started the drawing, just taking the step to even underline stuff and make little comments in the book. That's what I did first before drawing, because I had to take that step. I like the idea of even doing anything to a book. I was that person. As for the tools that you use, this is probably my most common question anytime I put out a video, a defacing video. It's what kind of pens are you using? For books like this, these are really common, you know, hardback covers. They're a solid black. I don't know, it's kind of feel almost, what's the name for like the material of it? I don't know. But for these ones, obviously you wouldn't want to use a black pen because that wouldn't show up. And also, even just a normal colored pen like these are just random, like for other art projects, they're just colored, simple colored pens. And I wouldn't recommend these on this type of book either, because they would be kind of hard to show up, or they just feel kind of rough, if that makes sense. What I always recommend for these kind of books are jelly pens. Specifically, I have the Sakura Gelly Roll pens, and they work so nicely on here. At the front of them, they just glide so easy on this, like, you know, it's not the same texture as paper, and they just glide right on, and they're so bright and colorful, and so I love them. And you can get them in, I think these ones in my hand are the Moonlight edition or the Starlight. I don't know. They have different types. You can get like pastel colored ones, really sparkly ones. So I like to recommend that one. I got mine off of Amazon and they weren't that expensive at all. And then they're also in Michaels, and you can get like the specific ones that you want. Lately, publishers have been having a lot of fun with like the naked covers, because they're doing wild things, like just making all red books like this. Like, you know, they're just doing really unique stuff to their books. And so obviously this one is all red, and when it's not black you can kind of have a little bit more fun. Like, I'd still recommend these, but for this one I was able to use just a black pen because you can see it, and I wanted to do like detailed stuff, so it worked fine. And the pens that I like to use for just like black pens, I love these ones. And I can tell the difference because when I first started doing like pen art, I just bought a random set from Walmart. Like, I just saw a cheap pack of black pens that were like ink pens, not your regular ballpoint pens, but you know, they were whatever. And I can really tell the difference from those and these, because these don't bleed and they're just more precise. And I also got them from Michaels, and these ones go from size 0.08 and they go all the way down to 0.005. And they show up great, as you can tell, on red or white. I seriously love how like everything's different. I love different colored stuff. So to summarize, the pens, either the Jelly Rolls or these they're called, I forgot to tell you what they're called. They're Macron pens, also by the brand Sakura, and you can also get them from Michaels, and they're both great. Something else that you might notice, so I had such a struggle trying to find a Harry Potter book to deface, because if you have any like of these edition Harry Potter books, chances are they have this like crisscross pattern on the front that you can feel, and so that kind of ruins my vibe when I'm trying to deface, because you know it's uneven, so you gotta watch out for that. That's why I ended up just doing the inside. Oh my gosh, the inside flaps work really nicely if you're trying to do some fun stuff. Like, have fun with the inside Look at it, it's red and fun. Seriously, some books have really pretty inside flaps, so have fun with that. Also, when it comes to making circles, I use this, man, wow, that's really lame. In my first video, I also didn't know the name of this. It was either a compass or a protractor. I don't know. I get them mixed up and I still haven't figured it out. But you know, you put it on, and this one by you know, the name will be on the screen because I can't pronounce it. Staedtlr. I like this oh my goodness. I like this one because it's not like a needle at the end. It looks like it, but it's not as sharp as this other one that I had. The other, like, it'll put a hole in whatever you're doing. This one is a little bit better. Ooh, I just remembered a tip. Anytime you use one of these, this part will kind of leave a mark wherever you like set it, because you have to hold it down and it leaves like a little indentation. But a really easy way to avoid that is to just take, like, you can actually kind of see from here how it's ripped. I just take any like thick material and I put some tape on it, some of the little artist tape that doesn't peel away from your art, and set it on there so it's not, you know, poking whatever you're doing, just it pokes through that instead. So those are mainly the stuff that I use, and I think the most important thing to remember is that there's no good or bad. It's your book and you can do absolutely whatever you want. The way I see it, your book looks exactly the same as hundreds of thousands of other copies of that book, and if you're going to have it forever, why not make it your own? I just, like, have fun with it. You paid for it. They're kind of expensive, especially the hardcovers. They're like 20 bucks now. But yeah, have fun. It's whatever you want to do, and these are just some tips. If you still have questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will see you in another video. Bye.